The period between ages 2 and 18 is known as the developmental years of life. During this period, children undergo a tremendous amount of growth and development, both physically and cognitively. Because of the amount of growth and development occurring at this stage in life, it is critical that children receive the nutrients they need to build a strong body and mind. Good nutrition and good health go hand in hand. Not only will this ensure they reach their physical potential, but also their intellectual, emotional, behavioral, and social goals as well. Unfortunately, most data shows that most children are not getting what they need from their diet. A recent study conducted by researchers in Australia shows that children aged 9 to 10 years old are receiving almost 50% of their daily energy requirements from junk foods that are high in fat, salt, and sugar, and consuming more than 150 grams of sugar per day, equivalent to about 38 teaspoons of sugar. In addition, 91% of children ate less than their recommended daily servings of vegetables. In the United States, children's intakes of added sugars, saturated fats, and trans fatty acids exceed the recommendations in the dietary guidelines for Americans. At the same time, they fail to meet the recommended levels of whole grains, vegetables, dairy foods, and nutrients of concern. The guidelines also outline a fruit and vegetable intake target of 7-9 servings for kids older than 6 and teens, but a report published by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention found that adolescents only consumed an average of 2.3 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, only 25 to 33% of the recommended amount. In South Africa, there appears to be a general lack of variety in the diet, borne out by the high prevalence of certain micronutrient deficiencies. Among South African children, there is a widespread lack of adequate vitamin A and iron intake, and approximately 45% of children have a low zinc status. This is worrying and an ongoing concern. While children's nutrition is based on the same principles as nutrition for adults, children need different amounts of specific nutrients during the developmental years. What are the top nutrients of concern for children? Let's take a look at what the latest research shows. According to the USDA, children ages 4 to 18 need between 1 and 2 cups of fruit and 1 and 3 cups of vegetables daily, equivalent to about 7-9 servings, depending on the particular types of fruits and vegetables. Intake of fruit and vegetables is below recommendations for all ages. Fruits and vegetables are important sources of vitamins and minerals. However, they also provide antioxidants that are critical for immunity and protection from oxidative stress. Active children, such as those who play sports, have high metabolic activity, making antioxidants even more important for protecting cells from oxidative damage. Also, since children are often exposed to germs at school and on the playground, providing them with nutrients to support immunity may help reduce the risk of becoming sick. Supplementing with fat-soluble antioxidants such as carotenoids, vitamin A, D, and E, and water-soluble antioxidants like vitamin C and polyphenols, including flavonoids, may all play a critical role in your child's health and immunity and can form an important part of their diet. It is established that omega-3 fatty acids are a crucial component of cognitive development in children. They are used for building the membranes of new neurons, which is critical for a developing nervous system. DHA in particular makes up about 15% of all fatty acids in the frontal cortex of the brain and is involved in messaging and signaling processes. But did you know that omega-3s can affect behavior as well? A report published in the Federation of American Societies for Experimental Biology journal describes how omega-3 fatty acids can affect levels of serotonin, which is a hormone that regulates cognitive functions, mood, decision-making processes, social behavior, and impulsive behavior. EPA helps increase serotonin levels, and DHA helps make serotonin receptors more accessible to serotonin, both of which aid in improving the positive effects of serotonin in the brain. In addition, a recent study suggests omega-3 supplementation could play a role in learning ability. In the study, researchers provided a daily 600 mg omega-3 supplement to children aged 7-9 years. Among those whose reading skills were in the bottom 20th percentile, literacy improved over the course of the 4-month study compared to the control group taking a daily placebo. While more research is needed to confirm the findings, the study results are promising and highlight the importance of adequate intakes of omega-3s during the developmental years. Currently, there are no formal guidelines for the amount of omega-3 fatty acids that children should consume. However, the USDA recommends 85 to 225 grams of seafood, including fatty fish, such as salmon, tuna, and mackerel, rich in omega-3s, per week, depending on the child's age. Meeting these recommendations for intakes of omega-3 rich fish per week will equate to approximately 250 to 500 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids per day. Despite the importance of omega-3 fatty acids for children, few are getting enough servings of fish in their diet. A recent study found that children in general are eating higher amounts of saturated fats and insufficient amounts of polyunsaturated fats, particularly omega-3 rich sources. This is true even in coastal communities that have greater access to fish potentially rich in important omega-3 fats. This points to an obvious deficiency that may be undermining our children's health and development. We often equate protein intake with muscle. However, most people are surprised to hear that protein does more than just build muscle. The protein we eat, or more explicitly, the amino acids these proteins provide, is also used to make enzymes, skin, hair, and bones. For adults as well as growing kids, it is important to get enough protein in the diet along with the right balance of nutrients and energy. Balancing protein intake with energy from carbohydrates and healthy fats ensures that the protein we eat is made available for muscle maintenance, new cell growth, and tissue repair rather than being burned for energy. Protein makes up about 50% of the volume of bone, and a daily supply of dietary protein is necessary for building the structure of bone. Inadequate protein intake during childhood can impair the production and activity of IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor 1, which is a hormone that stimulates bone formation. A balanced and varied diet also ensures that nutrients are available to help convert these amino acids into the structural components and muscles in our body. Kids, in general, require more protein per kilogram of body weight than adults to support their faster growth rate. Therefore, it's important to make sure they get the right amount of protein each day. Too little, and the body will break down its muscles to supply the body with the amino acids it needs. How much protein should children get? The Institute of Medicine recommends that 10 to 30% of the kilojoules a child over the age of 4 takes in should come from protein. Their needs may increase as they reach adolescence or participate in sports. The key to strong bones. While we often think of bone issues as a condition that affects older adults, the groundwork for bone health is laid during the childhood years. The key message from leading bone and nutrition experts on World Osteoporosis Day, October 20th, was that the right nutrition throughout life can make a difference in bone health. Peak bone mass and development are genetically predetermined. However, the right nutrition can help children and adolescents achieve their full genetic potential for optimal bone health. In fact, according to the International Osteoporosis Foundation, a 10% increase in peak bone mass in children could reduce the risk of osteoporotic fracture during adult life by 50%. A recent review that summarizes the role that nutrition plays in the development and maintenance of a healthy skeleton describes some of the key nutrients that are needed during this stage. Calcium is not only a major building block for our skeleton but also plays an important role in nerve and muscle function. Children ages 4 to 8 should get 800 milligrams per day, while older children and teens ages 9 to 18 should aim for 1,300 milligrams per day. Theoretically, it should not be difficult to meet these levels, since a 250 milliliters glass of milk or a cup of yogurt can provide 300 milligrams of calcium. However, achieving this daily recommendation continues to be a challenge for most kids. Various studies have highlighted that children are not achieving the basic recommended levels of calcium intake. In one particular group, it was shown that of the 40 most commonly consumed foods, full cream milk was ranked 8th, and the only other calcium foods were custard, 32nd, ice cream, 35th, and low-fat yogurt, 37th. Vitamin D plays two key roles in the development and maintenance of bones. 1. Assist in calcium absorption from food in the intestine. And 2. Ensure the appropriate renewal and remineralization of bone. Insufficient intakes of this sunshine vitamin are so prevalent among youth that health authorities recommend supplements be given to infants and young children to help meet the recommended dietary allowance of 400 IU for infants under 1 and 600 IU for children over 1 and teens.